Just injuries. Purdy had a knee. Didn't rule him out, but he left the game with a knee. Overall, disappointing. Obviously, can't turn the ball over. You turn the ball over like that, it's going to be hard to win football games. Thought our defense played pretty darn good. Kept us in it, but obviously wasn't good enough to get it done today.
Did you consider going to Richardson at all?
I didn't. Right there. Until I say otherwise. Right now, Joe's the guy. Right now.
Shane, he's had 6 turnovers last 2 weeks, 1 and 3 with him at the start of the season. Why is he still the guy?
Obviously, just a guy that's a veteran guy. Obviously, we've had 2 games that that he'd like to have back, but we'll keep battling through it and see where it goes.
There was some scattered boos throughout the game. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, we got to give him something to cheer about. Obviously, we're not moving the ball. We got to be better. We got to go back and freaking get it cleaned up. Got a lot of football left. Obviously, got a big one coming up against the Jets, so we'll get it cleaned up tomorrow, come back into work, and that's what we got to do.
Do you believe Joe still give you the best chance to win?
Yeah, right now.
And I guess, again, why is that?
Just his veteran leadership that he brings to our football team.
I mean, the last
4th and 2. Why did you decide to go for it there?
Yeah, I felt good about it right there, going for it, trying to get the points. Obviously, it didn't work out. It was 13-20 right there, trying to get the game tied there in that situation. Instead of taking that field goal right there, obviously it didn't convert it.
Joe's last 3 starts include your 2 lowest yardage outcomes of the season, and then today's 4 turnovers. So,
yeah.
Like, at what point do you reassess if it's about trying to win right now?
Yeah, I think we look at everything every week. Right now I'll go back and look at the tape, but right now Joe's our guy.
You did say that you made this move in the interest of when he's 1 and 3 as a starter.
Yeah.
Does that not give you pause?
I understand. Like I said, I'm going to go back and look at everything, but right now that's where I'm at with it.
Offensively, it feels like last year you guys were able to find some answers in tough situations. Has that been harder this year?
I mean, yeah, we got to get going a little bit. We have our moments. Like I said, we turn the ball over, and it's hard to win when you lose the turnover battle. So we haven't done a good job of that, and that's going to be a big point of emphasis going forward. We talk about it every week, preach it, but we got to do better at it for sure.
Is there anything Anthony can do in the locker room or in practice to make you reevaluate?
Yeah, I mean, he's going through that process every week. Preparing like the starter, going through his process, getting his reps, out there on the practice field. We go from there.
Yeah, I think a 7-point game until like 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
I think it were 4 carries, I think, in that stretch. Second half, just what was the thought process there, situation?
Yeah, situationally, we're always looking at, stuff, obviously, 1st and 10 stuff, what you're doing defensively, trying to counter that stuff. Give them credit. Shoot, it's a good football team, but we have to be better.
Do you feel like you're putting too much pressure on the defense, the entire team? Or?
Yeah, I think we got to score points offensively going forward. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We got to score points. We got to move the football. Can't turn it.
What's the most frustrating part about a loss like this?
I think it's tough because our guys are fighting like crazy. You know what I mean? You're in the game all the way toward the end. Obviously, we got to get the ball rolling in the right direction offensively. It starts with myself, and we got to get that thing cleaned up.
You said that you thought the defense played pretty well. Maybe you don't always hear that they give up 30 points. So is that just they played well and Josh Allen had some precision?
Yeah, they got the turnovers. Obviously, we had a few where he scrambled around on some big plays there, which we know he's going to make plays. He's a hell of a football player, but I thought those guys were gritty for a good chunk of the game for sure. There's no doubt.
You guys had Jonathan Taylor rolling early. Did they shift defense, or what made it a little harder to do that?
They started bringing some pressures and stuff, some run stunts things, but we'll go back and look at it. I mean, obviously, JT, he had some big runs early, popped the big one there to start the game down the boundary. Tried to come back to that one again. So we'll keep looking at it, keep looking at the scheme, and keep going there.
Shane, your team has been pretty resilient in every game up to this point. How do you sell them on just playing, like I said, quarterback when it's supposed like this the last 2 weeks?
I think you got to keep believing. It's never about one guy, man. It's the ultimate team game. You got to go through adversity in football season. That's how you come through the adversity. You know what I mean? You got to go back to work, be professionals, come in every single day with the right mindset to get better. And that's what we've got to do as professionals, and we got to go get better.
Now that you've seen this game from AD, does that allow you to kind of broaden things for him and his role moving forward?
Yeah, no, he did a really nice job today. Obviously, he made some big-time catches there. He was on point, good routes, made big-time catches. So, yeah, we'll keep looking at that stuff.
What is up, YouTube? It's Coffee, back at it, talking some NFL with y'all, and the Colts coach there, Steichen, just stuck on Joe Flacco. I don't know if he's got a thing for this guy or what. Pause, right? But I mean, obviously the media doesn't run the show, but you hear the questions there. Every other question is, why not go take Flacco out? Why is Flacco the guy? Oh, he's a veteran. Whoa, why are y'all losing? Or what can you do? Or, you know what I mean? He's talking about turnovers. We can't turn over the ball like that, but expect to win. Our defense is hanging in there. And it's like Flacco was turning the ball over. He's 1-3 as a starter. The fans are booing you. It's just a mess in Indy. And I don't know, like Flacco is just what he did last year, comeback player of the year and all that. It was pretty interesting, pretty cool to see. The chemistry was there. He did what he did with the Browns. He went to a wild card game and then, you know, they took a L. It was cool and all that, but he just, what is he, turning 40 years old? He's just not the player that he was. And clearly, in my opinion, I just don't understand why. Comment everyone out there, whether you're a Colts fan, not a Colts fan, leave it in the comment who your squad is, what you think about this. But I don't know, I feel like the coach was just kind of sounding silly there. Like he was describing things about the offense struggling and stuff like that just clearly point to he should probably pull Flacco out, but he's just so dead set against it. And then he's talking about, oh, we got to reassess things. And I don't know, man. I don't understand it. And clearly the sports media doesn't. The fans of the franchise don't. I wonder if it's something locker room wise, or he doesn't like them. Did they have it out? I don't know. I don't follow the Colts that closely. And to be honest, it's a team you don't even hear much reports about on a national level in the news. They're just kind of a bland squad that just is irrelevant right now and doesn't have a hope for the postseason. And to me, it makes zero sense. Flacco's on his way out. We saw the way the Bills ate him up. It was ugly. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't understand what he sees to keep Flacco in there. And I don't know, you know, if Flacco goes out there next week and issues the bed, does he switch it up? What does everyone think? And any Colts fans out there that have been following things closer, please leave your thoughts, take opinion, all that. Like, is there something else? You know, is this, again, this is not a team I follow very closely. Haven't heard much about him. It just, I don't know, it feels like Flacco's the guy because I said so. And is there anything that he can do to, you know, maybe you change things up where you'll put him in? He tries that every week. I don't know. Just coach body language was real odd too. Just scratching his face, seeming real insecure, real unsure, and I don't know. It's just not looking good for Indy, and I feel for the Colts fans, man. I remember a few years back, who was the starter before? Phillip Rivers on his way out. He gave him a pretty solid chance to win, man. Jonathan Taylor is a hell of a running back. He ripped off that big run against us. Into the red zone, I think it was a 50-plus yard pickup. Thank goodness we caught him. And the defense held him to 3. And that was a big deal momentum-wise in that game. But Flacco just couldn't handle the pressure that we brought at him. And I don't know. I think this coach is either wildly in love with Joe Flacco or hates Richardson or something, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, without breaking down every single thing about it, to me, it just felt like his answers sounded stupid. Like he was telling everyone why Flacco was going to remain the starter, but the answers to the questions and his evaluation of the game sounded like why he shouldn't be the starter. And again, he just didn't handle himself well in that press conference. I don't know. I look at that guy like kind of a joke of a head coach, and I'm not just trying to come on here and troll, you know what I mean? As a diehard Bills fan, all my fellow Bills Mafia, like I'm sure you guys can remember having some coaches that weren't so great, and a very frustrating thing quarterback wise. More recently, I mean, it's not that recent now, but before, obviously, when Trent Edwards kept getting the starting job back after it was clear he was a shell of his former self, everyone wanted to see Fitz. T.O. wanted to see Fitz. They linked up on a franchise record, you know what I mean? And Trent just kept getting the job. And then that 2010 season, the first 2 games, like, I kept hoping Fitz was going to win the job in the offseason, and they go with Trent. But week 1 and 2, Trent did Trent things, proved he just didn't have it anymore. It's a whole nother story, a whole nother video to get into. And they went to Fitz. Fitz had a good game, and Trent was cut and he was gone. I was like, thank goodness. And man, I just love seeing Fitz being an NFL commentator as well, kind of getting off the whole Indy situation. But I was just saying, during that time period when R.I.P. Ralph Wilson was getting up there in age, it was more or less like consultants were running the team and making bland hires and stuff like that. I remember one season Bill Cowher was making a possible comeback. He interviewed with some teams and stuff like that, and ultimately he didn't come back, but he clearly said about Buffalo, they're not committed to win. That's how it was for a while. It's kind of fucked up to say. Straight up, just trying to keep things pushing. And again, it sounds kind of morbid, but Ralph the guy lived to be like 100 freaking years old. And, hey, let's save money, and, and it showed. There were some decent teams there, but it just was what it was. Thank goodness. R.I.P. Ralph Wilson, but we're a good squad now. And I don't know, just looking at the Colts again, all the Colts fans, everyone out there, comment, what's going on with this guy? What's going on with that quarterback situation? Do you look at this head coach as a joke? Do you think Flacco will remain the starter? Hit the comments with it all, sub up, and I'm up out of here. Thanks for watching. It's Coffee signing out. Peace.